And we are live, everyone.
Okay. First pick goes to blue team, Pet Troop. Well, first ban.
Let's see what kind of strategies emerge from the banning stages that we can comment on. Is there something wrong with the lobby? Nobody. There we go. Everyone's connected now. The warning symbol has disappeared from everyone's character portraits.
Okay, so we have a first ban of Malzahar, a strong AP mid who has a great ultimate, which is able to hold a person in place. A very strong assassin-based character.
You can see that Frak the Piltovers wants to try and opt out of those single target lockdown champions. LOLI Smash is opting for Dr. Mundo, a very strong jungler and top laner in this patch. They definitely want to take out his large teamfight presence and sustain based ultimate and playstyle.
Shyvana, a very strong jungler in top right now as well.
Very good at chasing through team fights down to the AD carry. Hecarim, a very mobile jungler.
I haven't seen that ban in a while. Great jungler.
Still a very, very, very scary thought. The move speed just seems like he's everywhere at once. As soon as he gets boots. Kha'Zix's ban coming out from Frak the Piltovers. Once again, is high terror single target DPS champion that can just erase your carries from the map.
And that looked like a very fast pick. Maybe from the beginning, Frak knew that they wanted to ban Kha'Zix. Perhaps it's even targeted towards a member of LOLI Smasher. Vi is the final ban from LOLI Smasher, another great jungler, making 3 junglers from LOLI Smasher and a jungler from Frak the Piltover.
It seems that we have the very, very esteemed pick Jinx coming up. Really good champion, but scales really well into the late game with her attack speed increase.
A hover on Nidalee and Maokai. Maokai provides a lot of gap closers for his jungling ability, and is rather tanky. And Nidalee provides that assassin quality that it seems Frak the Piltover might be worried about by banning Shyvana and Kha'Zix.
It's very good sieging potential and all in from coming in from LOLI Smashers. Nidalee pick is still being thought over, hasn't locked in yet. Still conversing down to the final seconds. And the auto lock comes out.
Okay, Nidalee and Mao.
Let's see what Lonely Butter and Soviet Shark have to respond with from their picks.
Nasus, a very strong top right now.
Very strong top. Synergizes very well with Jinx's late game with his own infinite potential siphoning strike stack.
And Thresh.
Thresh, a very, very strong support. There a whole lot of utility coming out from one champion. LOLI Smash is going to have to be really careful how they handle this. Nasus switches to Cho'Gath. Let's see if he still wants to lock that in or if he wants to go back to Nasus.
Back to Nasus. Okay.
And those two are locked in, finalized. Ultimate Mimic and Slar Turtle the third coming up to bat. Goes Renekton, brother to Nasus. It's very interesting matchup going to be on top lane for sure.
That is, if Nasus decides to go top. Nasus jungle's also been pretty popular.
It's very true. It's very true.
And a Talon.
Talon pick a highly mobile single target DPS champion. Very much on the likes of Malzahar and Kha'Zix. Can simply erase your AD carry or APC from the map.
The anti-assassin.
Very much so.
And a switch to Ziggs.
Very.
Oh, back to Talon.
And he locks into Talon. He definitely wants to take. He seems like he wants to take Jinx off the map as fast as he can. There goes the hover over Swain and Zac. Two rather teamfight oriented champions. Very tanky, both of them, while still being able to put out a good bit of damage on their own.
And Zac and Nasus have also both been known as tops and jungles, so we wouldn't have an idea of who's going where, which might serve to Frak the Piltovers' advantage. Maybe that's what they're trying to go for. A switch to Orianna, a strong burst-type mid, a ranged mid, maybe trying to keep a little bit of the distance from that Talon, the anti-assassin.
Zac locks in his pick. We'll wait to comment on the potential playstyles until we're seeing where he might go.
And the Orianna lock-in is a go. The final pick on Team LOLI Smasher. And it seems maybe he's considering his options, trying to find the best champion now that he knows the entire team of Frak the Piltover. Ezreal.
Ezreal, a very safe ADC in the bot lane. Synergizes rather well with the potential Nidalee support that's going to come out.
How do you think a Nidalee Ezreal combo faces against a Jinx Thresh combo, Jackson?
See, the thing that they both have very differing playstyles. The Jinx Thresh combination is going to have very good lockdown with Thresh's hook, followed up by Jinx's Flame Chompers. It's going to be able to lock down one of those opposing bot laners very easily. It's very scary to go up against, but at the same time, Nidalee and Ezreal bring a lot of poke and sustain to that matchup. It's going to be a match of who spaces a little bit better, Frak the Piltovers or LOLI Smashers.
And the Ezreal is a lock, so we do know that it will be a Jinx Thresh versus Ezreal and Nidalee predicted. One thing to mention is that the Ezreal-Nidalee combo also has a lot of movement, which could possibly hinder versus the Thresh-Jinx combo.
That Maokai jungle though, the one thing that the bot lane for LOLI Smashers lacks, which is lockdown. Every time Maokai comes to gank, that's gonna be in there in droves, and the sheer damage from the Nidalee and Ezreal could be too much for Jinx or Thresh to handle if Maokai comes down and keeps them in there for too long.
Good point.
It's very good synergy from the laners and the junglers, it seems. Okay, and the free exchange period is over. We are now awaiting the 3-minute delay necessary for all spectated League of Legends matches.
Now that the 3-minute delay is up, let's go ahead and remove the Summoner Cell blockers. So we can see that Nasus is running Smite, predicting that he's going to go jungle, and that Zac is taking Ignite, suggesting that he will go top. And we also see that Nidalee is taking Exhaust, which suggests that she's also going to support as predicted.
Let's see, Renekton running Ignite against Zac. That's a very, very good catch catch by Ultimate Mimic to see that Zack was probably going to go top. All that sustain that Zack brings to lane will be cut down in half by the grievous wounds inflicted by Ignite, and it could end up providing an early kill to Renekton.
And we do see that both Frak the Piltover and LOLI Smasher have the same summoner spells on their respective roles.
It's very, very standard things nowadays to go with Ignite into lane. Only in very rare cases do you ever see the solo laners take Exhaust, only if they're up against very attack speed heavy champions. Let's see, Todd, do you want to talk about the team comp synergies instead of the matchups for a moment while we wait?
Sure, I think that's an interesting point. Well, on the blue side, Frak the Piltovers, we see that there is a lot of beef to the team between Nasus, Thresh, and Zack. A team fight's going to be very heavy, with the primary damage dealers being Jinx and Orianna. With Nasus's Wither, it suggests that they're going to be peeling for them and letting them do the damage, sacrificing themselves for victory. On purple side, LOLI Smasher, we see that they also have a considerable amount of beef between Maokai and Renekton, and that they have 3 damage dealers, Talon, Ezreal, and Nidalee. Nidalee with considerable poke damage from her spears.
See, one thing that I think that each team is going to be going for, Frak the Piltovers is going to be a very team fight oriented team, with with Orianna putting her gyro ball on Zack, waiting for that shockwave as Zack initiates. The LOLI Smash is going to be a little bit more single target with Talon, Ezreal, and Nidalee coming into the mix. They're gonna want to make picks in the mid game hopefully when everybody is still separated, and create pressure off of a 4v5 that produces.
It also seems notable to point out that both teams are very AD heavy, with 1 primary magic damage dealer per team, assuming that Nidalee decides to go in an AP direction. Bewitching Nidalee, is that a skin that's still offered? Was that a legendary skin, Jackson? Do you know?
I'm actually not sure. Nidalee's not one of the champs that I play an extreme amount. I wish I had more information on that, but
I think that was a Halloween special. I'm not sure if that's still offered. Maybe the viewers in the chat can help us out.
See, and while we reference the viewers in the chat, we want to take this moment and ask if everyone can hear it. Is the volume fine for the broadcast? It's not overwhelming or too quiet. If you could give any input on that so that we may adjust, that would be very helpful.
Thanks, Frost Wolf Ranger. According to him, Bewitching Nidalee is a Halloween-only skin. And Rolly, I am Infernalist, hosting today with Gomer USMC.
Thank you, Frostwolf.
So we're in the game.
See, Frak the Piltovers makes very, very solid first buys as they move out into lane.
A summoner has reconnected.
Oh, and we have an early disconnect. Potentially a client bug where it crashed upon loading the game. It's very unfortunate.
To Summoner's Rift.
It is possible for each of these teams to pause the game for up to 30 minutes between 3 pauses, as is common in tournament draft modes. So while LGE, DeBomb, reconnects, we may see a pause come out. And Talon seems to be behind himself in a spot trouble. Burns flash to escape with his life. Very good reflexes. To
Fast
see.
reflexes from Turtle. A Nidalee Spear hits Coyote.
And that Nidalee Spear was apparently very scary, as they seem to be backing off very quickly from that early invade, potentially setting up for a red invade instead of the blue invade that they were seeking.
I think at this moment, Lolly Smasher might be wondering, will blue be invaded? And Rennick sees them. Okay, Ultimate Mimic makes it out alive, and now it appears that Lolly Smasher realizes that their red is going to be invaded, or at least can predict it.
Jinx from the bot lane goes ahead and back so that she can make it to lane in time for CS. LG DeBomb has in fact reconnected. I missed that with the announcer while we were commentating. But it's good to know that all members of Lolly Smashers are back and alive and well.
And we see from Frak the Piltover a start at red, and we see from Lolly Smasher a start at blue.
It's very interesting that they stopped the invade. I wonder what Frak the Piltovers is planning at faking that invade. Saw the turtle being poked down quite a bit with the level 1 range disadvantage. All lanes are going fairly as expected. Maokai moving in straight from his blue to the mid lane. This could be an interesting gank from Lolly Smashers in the mid lane. Okay, gank comes out. And the flash comes out with the ignite catch Oriana.
And
she
it
lives.
Is close.
She lives. The level 2 ignite just doesn't seem to be that much damage coming out on Oriana over time. She did have a health potion ticking, so that was a very good play on her part. Very good gank from Maokai to drive Oriana out of the lane and leave some pressure on the early game disadvantage that Talon has.
We can see that Turtle has just hit level 3, whereas Alexi is still level 1 because of that early gank. And it looks as if Turtle is backing. Oh! It looks as if he's reconsidering.
He's reconsidering. The minion wave did not hit the tower like he expected it to. The opposing minion wave came in just in time, and he felt the need to stay and push that out.
A very aggressive bot lane from Frak the Piltover.
They know that Maokai went middle and that he still didn't have his red buff, so they have the inkling that he is still in the top jungle, so they can reign free on bot lane at the moment. Zac seems to be sustaining quite well against the Renekton, but Maokai coming in for the gank.
Kwande does have double buff, and it looks as if now, okay, Washbowl Coyote realizes that Kwande has arrived.
It's out as very good awareness to be going toward just that moment.
We see some dancing going around on bot lane, as well as some trades going on between Watchful Coyote and Ultimate Mimic. A fight going on bot.
Soviet Shark and Rolling Butter catch out the Ezreal, putting out a lot of damage. That early game lockdown that I was talking about between the hook from Thresh and the Flame Chompers from Jinx.
And Aleski manages to get some good damage off on Turtle as well.
Nasa setting, Pet Troop setting up in the brush, trying to see if he can catch Czar Turtle out. Decides to back off instead. The lane doesn't seem too dangerous. The Ultimate Mimic getting a good combo out on Watchable Coyote at the top lane. Nasus, Pet Troop found out by Kwande.
And the fight near bottom, okay. Kwande manages to make it out with a flash, and Soviet Shark hooks him with a hook. Some more damage done, but everyone lives.
Everyone lives. Quande taking a considerable amount of damage. We'll have to wait and see if this impacts his jungle root.
And we see one of Sighted's spears go right by Lonely Butter. We can see on top that Washable Coyote is still getting some trades in. Ultimate Mimic, and an Ultimate has gone off.
Trying to scare Ultimate Mimic away. Very low. Ultimate Mimic very low on health, but he still has his Dominus up for Necton's Ultimate. Fortunately, there's first blood goes down in the mid lane.
Okay, it appears that Quande got a successful gank off on Aletsky, and the mid lane has first blood. Still a very close game, almost 7 minutes in.
And remember, in very recent patches, Riot has actually nerfed the first blood amount within the first, I believe it was 8 minutes. It could have been 5, but I believe that it was 8 minutes, giving first blood about half of the gold bonus that it would have normally given on top of the gold. So unfortunately, what was approximately a 6K gold lead is now dropped to about 5K or 0.5K. My apologies.
Let's see. Aletsky comes back to lane with some smaller items, getting some armor as well as some more damage and boots. And Turtle has come back to lane with a Vampiric Scepter,
trying to get that sustain against Aletsky. Once again, still a very disadvantageous matchup until he gets a couple of damage items. Washable Coyote pushing.
Looks like we have some action going on in bot lane.
Aletsky gets caught, but will he escape? It could have been a rather unfortunate engage. The
great hook from
comes out from
Soviet.
West. LG Bomb picks up the kill on Oriana with a mystic shot. Team fight still going. Quande falls to the combined lockdown.
We see Pet Troop in with the red buff. Will Turtle be caught out? And it looks as if Pet Troop has to back off.
Zach and Renekton still chilling out in the chilling out in the top lane. It's very interesting. A 2-for-1 engage coming up, or a 1-for-1 engage. With Oriana falling to Ezreal and Malachi falling to Nidalee. Oh, my apologies. Malachi actually getting my apologies, I had a small champion mix up right there.
We see an engage from Washable Coyote. Ultimate Mimic immediately stops it, and once again they've disengaged.
Still out sustaining the Renekton very well. Trying to keep that early game lane dominance off of him.
Quante just in time to catch that ward and try. He knows it's there. Washable Coyote knows it's there. We can see that Ultimate Mimic is building magic resistance, and that Washable Coyote is building armor, so both of them are going for a very tanky early build right now. And we can see Aletsky pick up the blue on Nasus, which looks like it might be of use, seeing that Aletsky's mana is running a bit low. A dive from Turtle. Aletsky comes back out because Pet Troop is there.
A very good ultimate from Zark's Girl gets him out of range of Pet Troop's engage.
We see a battle on bottom going on. Looks as if the bomb is caught out, but not before doing some good damage to Lonely Butter. Sighted Spear hits. Okay, Lonely Butter manages to make it out a little bit and is saved by the Thresh Shield. Very nice. Oh! Sighted just barely misses a spear. I believe it was targeted for Lonely Butter. A great push, and it looks as if LOLI Smasher is going to have a slight lead on bottom for a little bit until Lonely Butter can recover, which is coming along very quickly.
That Vampiric Scepter doing its work in the bot lane, sustaining Lonely Butter back up to good levels. Still gets hit by Sighted Spear.
And we can see Soviet Shark throw out a lantern, Petri grab onto a very fast gang.
Super Mega Death Rocket connects with LGE to bomb, netting a rather early Jinx kill on Lonely Butter.
With that gank, it looks as if Frak the Piltover has made up the small gold deficit that they were behind initially.
Both teams
and they're neck and neck.
Both teams farming very effectively, even through multiple engages. Both top laners with very remarkable amounts of CS.
Ultimate Mimic is taking a bit of a bruising, but it looks as if he'll be completely fine.
Completely fine at the cost of his ultimate. It's very unfortunate. The Necron's ultimate dominance is very useful for engages. Having that down is going to result in a much lowered kill.
Lonely Butter manages to protect the pink ward in Try and dodge both Ezreal and Nidalee's attacks. We see Aleski running low on mana again, and a fight almost about to ensue.
As we can see, Aleski is giving a wide girth to Talon's burst. Zarturtle having a whole silence at his whip. Will and command is a very scary thought.
And it looks as if Ultimate Mimic has gained the upper hand in the health battle against Washable Coyote. The fight's still ensuing.
Washable Coyote attempting to out-sustain Ultimate Mimic, picking up those health blobs. Ultimate Mimic realizes that it's probably rather futile to attempt to out-sustain him with that Sunfire Cage.
And how about that? Pet Troop comes in and manages to steal the blue buff.
Smilesteel heads up play by the Pet Troop, realizing about their jungle timings and jungle rounds.
Very good timing.
Business as usual down in the bot lane. Lonely Butter farming quite a high CS count for Jinx.
Something notable is the wards at blue. Still in there, we can still see some movement in this general area, and the rest of the river is very well warded. It doesn't look as if any ganks will be coming from Maokai without the bottom lane realizing it ahead of time. And right now, Pet Troop is attempting an in-lane gank.
It doesn't seem like the purple team has much idea of what could be happening right now.
Well, they do not have one in the first pick. The Lantern Nasus combo again. Very nicely done, and the chase is on for Sighted.
That ultimate Fury Sands creating a very tanky Nasus. See, Sighted 2011 has to disengage. They may be looking to take Dragon off of this.
It looks as if Frak the Piltover wants to go for it. I don't know if they realize that LOLI Smasher has it warded. We'll see. Oh! On our top lane, both Washable Coyote and Ultimate Mimic getting low. In comes... Oh! Just
Zach
too late.
attempting to engage on top lane. Renekton makes it out just slightly. Kwande with the CC trying to get a little bit off of him.
Oh no, a failed flash from Washable Coyote.
This may spell his death, God. He's sustaining quite well.
Sustaining very well.
Almost. and his pass is popped. One of the blocks smited away by Quande. I don't believe that he's getting out of this.
Oh, very close.
But the Sunfire drives Quande away, and they don't feel like they can take it out before Zach comes back up.
And Washable Coyote's sustain right now is very strong. That might have been a wise decision from them. We can see some pressure on middle lane. Oleski low, but Pet Troop there to back him up. And we can see Sighted coming in. Although
Warning Ping's coming out from blue team.
Frak seems very aware that he's there. And Pet Troop goes in. Oh.
Knowing that Nidalee just has her pounce up, very wise decision for Pet Troop not to wither her.
It looks like we missed a small fight on bottom between Lonely Butter and DeBomb, but we see that Lonely Butter has got another kill. Right now, Lonely Butter is 2-0-2 with a considerable CS lead over DeBomb, which will make it difficult for the bottom lane to make a comeback against this. Just such a heavy lead that Lonely Butter is going to start to snowball.
So the first turret does go to Frak the Piltovers in the bot lane. That's going to make a lot of pressure for LOLI Smashers, especially in the area of Frak, the highly contested mid-game objective.
Let's check in with some items.
See, in the top lane we have Washable Coyote opting for a Sunfire Caper. While it doesn't help with his sustain itself, in fact, pretty much causes damage. As the longer he is in proximity to Ultimate Mimic, the more damage that comes out over time. It's a very small amount, but it adds up to quite a big difference.
And we can see that Ultimate Mimic has finished his Spirit Massage, and is that'll help him sustain against Washable Coyote. And it looks as if something's about to happen. Maybe not. Some wards have been cleared. Pet Troop in a little bit deep. The spear collides. It looks as if he's fine though.
Let's see, now Quande has opted not to finish his jungle item, instead going for a Chain Vest and Kindle Gem to help up his innate tankiness levels, so that he can better apply CC during the game. While we have Pet Troop already have depleting a Spirit of the Ancient.
You can see the turtles come up for the gank, but Washable Coyote manages to get out with his life. This is a fight for the mid tower is going on right now.
Turret has been destroyed.
Oh. Soviet Shark gets great CC. Unfortunately, Oriana gets caught out. And
Super Mega Death Rocket. Ultimate Mimic coming down and trying to get Jinx out of the fight. It seems as though Quande is going to go down. An excellent barrier fight combination from Jinx.
At the beginning of that fight, it looked like LOLI Smasher was coming out ahead, but we see that, in fact,
through excellent healing and focus, they protected their damage dealer, the damage dealer Jinx, long enough for her to put out a bunch of damage.
And Lonely Butter manages to dodge Slighted's attack just by a hair. The second tier top tower falls. And it looks as if Frak the Piltovers is backing off, with Sighted pursuing, trying to get some more damage off. The spear misses, but Turtle pursuing. And we see a blue steal, making use of that time from pushing those objectives. It looks as if Frak the Piltovers is all going back, and on top, Ultimate Mimic is pushing, no doubt trying to get the first top tower to even out some of the objectives and get behind, or get ahead on their, catch up on their gold deficit.
It is possible that Zach is going to make it in time to defend this top turret, but Renekton is going to put out a lot of damage on it.
And we've also seen from Frak the desire to get the next dragon, which is up in 28 seconds. Turtle dives. A disengage with Nidalee following up. They're aware that Nasus is there. And
the Spirit Fire reducing a lot of armor. Ultimate coming out, but Ignite coming out from Oleski. Very heads up play to Ignite Talon before he can get off his ultimate, setting out damage to him even while he's invisible.
At this point, we can see an 800 health advantage from Watchful Coyote over Ultimate Mimic right now. Oh, and it looks like, unfortunately, Ezreal's ultimate was not successful in taking the dragon, but it was a noble effort. Right now, Frak is pursuing, and it looks as if the bomb has been hooked by Soviet Shark.
Well, Wither coming out from Nasus, and the Soviet Shark is going to pick up a kill with the bombs.
Watchful Coyote and Ultimate Mimic still fighting out. There's been a lot of dueling on top, not a lot of roaming. And on our
pressure
mid lane,
coming out on the mid lane and bot lane. There's a very large wave in mid. Will Maokai be able to hold them off successfully? Looks like there's an engage going on in the mid lane.
Without Lonely Butter there, they won't be able to do quite as much damage. Looks as if they're still dancing.
Zara looking in the lane on Jinx.
Lonely Butter walks away looking unfazed, however is now at half health. Pet Troop has to escape after being under the power fire.
The hook on Talon.
An incredible engage by Soviet Shark.
Super Mega Death Rocket connects with the invisible Talon. Really heads up play knowing where he was going to be. Maokai falls in the back lines to Orianna and Jinx. Ezreal goes down to the flash cycling
going
strike.
for the ace, but Pet Troop is a bit low. Lanterns in, sighted flashes to dodge enemy attacks.
A near miss with the Nidalee pounce. Soviet Shark falls to the combined damage of Javelin toss in the tower.
Purple team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
He looks like
you can see on top, Watchful Coyote also trying to apply some pressure, but Ultimate Mimic still holding his ground. The last mid tower fallen and the inhib as well.
Ezreal trying to deter them from taking the inhibitor with the arcane barrage. And it looks like the top tower is going to fall, making the tower lead 7-0 in favor of Frak the Piltovers.
A hefty advantage.
A very commanding lead, over 10k of a gold difference.
Watchful Coyote is fairly deep in, and Kwande manages to zoom in on him before Watchful Coyote can jump away, but he still manages to escape. And Zac is such a mobile champ. Very difficult to game. We see a lot of upper warding coming from LOLI Smasher right now, and it looks as if both teams are anticipating a Baron move. Perhaps we're going to see some action on top. Oleski moves in for Ultimate Mimic. Double buff. He backs off. Perhaps a bait? Oh, he's moving in. It looks as if we're just going to see some dancing going on.
Jinx.
Ultimate Mimic gets out, not wanting to be drawn in. Kwande, ready. Oleski does not have any wards. He does not know of the presence. And now he knows.
And the lockdown coming out. Will there be a flash?
There is a flash. Will it be good enough to escape, though? Watchful Coyote jumps in to save Oleski. Here comes Soviet Shark. Re-engage. A wonderful counter game.
That ward coverage providing Zac with just the sight that he needed in order to know where the next was is going.
And we see a Baron play from Frak the Piltover right now. Marco Coyote warding up before jumping in. And right now, LOLI Smasher does not seem to be able to contest. Jinx almost taking out Turtle. There we go. There's the kill. And the double.
The double kill from Jinx. Very nice.
Just in time for the Baron pickup. Making the gold deficit over 15k. Lonely Butter zooming along. Quande trying to save the last tower. Lonely Butter going for the finish. Will he be able to get it? No, he won't.
Unfortunate. LG to bomb having the Mystic Shot Arcane Shift combo to try and finish him off. Not able to get it on mentality. But the rest of the team comes pouring in. They may be looking to end, but they really want to get Ezreal out of this fight.
And DeBomb manages to make it out via Barrier's Width. Oh, he misses, and Aleski picks up the kill. A great game. Victory goes to Frak the Piltovers. It looks as if we cannot view the chat between these two teams, but a very exciting game.